Question. I'm sorry, I was trying to connect when you were playing the video. So first and foremost, what is the definition or what would be considered a good man is my question.
What we consider a good man. I believe a good man is somebody who can assert himself. He can verbalize his needs. He protects the ones that he loves. He provides for the ones he loves. He is someone who isn't passive aggressive in his communication overall. And yeah, I'll keep it short in that regard. Treats people with respect, even those who may be considered below him, or maybe considered, and treats people with respect those who are above him. You know what I mean? As well, he's able to um, uh, be in touch, or at least say communicate one's emotions. To some various degree. There's some emotional intelligence there, because without it, we become savages. So yeah, that's what I would say as a short description. What I believe a good man is: has good boundaries, good standards. Doesn't let people just walk all over him. As well. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you, Kojo, before I get into the topic. What you just explained as far as being a good man is, do you think that's what the people, like men or guys that consider themselves good guys, that they are exactly how you explained it? Or it's more so, oh, I'm faithful, so I'm a good man. I'm only a provider, so I'm a good man. Like, what do you think the difference of the definition is compared to what you just explained?
So are you saying, like, do men focus more on one or two aspects of that definition? Is that what you mean?
So from what I have seen and have experienced, I would say, yeah. I remember there was this guy that I was dating for a short amount of time. We were friends first before we started to date, and I think his definition of being good was more so of, okay, I'm a faithful guy. I'm just focused strictly on you, so I'm a good guy. But there's so, at least in a mature relationship, there's more aspects to it than just that. And I
Mm.
think that people don't realize, like, there's layers to it more than, okay, I'm being faithful to my girl, so I'm a good guy. Or I go to
Mm.
work, so
So I'm
I'm
a
a
good
good
guy.
guy. You know what I mean? Kind of
Yeah.
like what would be considered, I hate to use this word, but I have to, so please don't kill me, y'all. The bare minimum. Like, you should be good. If we are together and we are locked in a serious relationship, I would expect you to be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are some men who, um, I mean, first and foremost, it's like the alpha male situation. If I'm good, I need not announce it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I've never had to say to someone I'm a good guy. If anything, I actually say I'm a bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, I've never need to announce that I'm a good guy, because naturally you should feel that, see that, and encounter that. Do you know what I mean? What understood shouldn't need to be explained. So that's the first and foremost thing. I shouldn't have to announce that. Most people who announce that they're actually good guys are not actually good. They're nice. And I think that's the
Right.
distinction.
Thank
You
you.
know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the distinction. You're nice. You're not good. And I think I'm glad that you broke that down, because I feel like that's the disconnect. People don't realize the difference between being nice and being good. You know what I mean? So there's
Mm.
a lot of people, a lot of guys that are walking around like, I'm a good guy, I'm a good guy, but it's very surface level. I've been in relationships with men, um from the outside looking in. Other women on paper would be like, "Oh, he's ideal." And to me, I'm like, "He's nice, but good, that's questionable."
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I think there are absolutely there are good men out there, and when you encounter one, right, you might feel a little bit like, "Oh, I hate to let him go, but it's not compatible," right? Because you feel that
Mhm.
almost like, I've met a good one, it's just a shame we're not compatible, right? When you meet a nice guy, it's almost like, yeah, he's nice. That's the words that come out your mouth. You just like, oh, he's nice. Like when someone asks you to describe a person, I was like, he's nice, he's cool, right? Because naturally you can sense that there are certain behaviors or attitudes that the person has that doesn't actually correlate with him being a good guy. And like I said, I don't believe every good guy you should be literally having to date, because compatibility is a major thing. But when you encounter somebody that is good, not just nice, you do feel a little sense of like, they're good, but it's just not for me. It's a bit of a shame. Yeah, you almost feel like, oh, it's a bit of a shame. I don't want to have to let them go, but or I don't have, I wish we were a little bit more compatible. That could have been great. Um, and I think that's on. And I'll be honest with you, I think that's on both sides in terms of. I mean, maybe it could be. We can debate and say there's more on, the women's side. Say there's more good women or whatever. But the reality is that finding someone that is good is a rarity in itself. To find someone that is actually good, and if we listen all the qualities that are across the board. So yes, being good for me has never been enough, because you have to fit the piece of the puzzle to someone's jigsaw.
Right.
If you don't fit it, you don't fit it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I think a lot of us have, generally speaking, scarcity mindset. So when we meet the nice guy, a lot of us will cling to that because it's like, hey, the pickings are slim, so I got to take what I can get. I know, when I called off my wedding last year, I got backlash for that. Like, I
Mm.
got a lot of backlash and pushback, and I'm like, so you would have preferred me to marry the person that was not for me, to appease you and what you deem as being a good man, opposed to what the reality of it was, which was like not what everybody thought it was from the outside looking in. I was so surprised at the backlash, even from my family, that I got from that. I'm like, wow, y'all just wanted me to just marry somebody. Like, it didn't matter, like, what my happiness was. It didn't matter, like, if I would have possibly just been married for 2 years and then been divorced. Like, as long as I just walked down the aisle, that was good enough. Because from the outside looking in, that's the type of guy that a lot of women would want. And it's like, but until you're actually in the situation and you're living it and you're with that person and you know the qualities in that person that aren't the best, then you can see it from a different angle.
Mm. Hearing that. So, without even obviously going too deep, I mean, was he a good guy? Was he a nice guy?
He was a nice guy,
Okay. Okay. What
definitely.
did you observe for you personally that kind of turned you off in a sense, or what made your decision?